What's up, guys? My name is Anthony Joshua Pros, but you could call me AP for short. I am actually here with Battle Nation Emperor for a collab discussion video. Battle Nation Emperor, how do you feel?
Dude, I'm feeling great. Just got out of Wingstop, loaded, about to go into a hibernation after this video. But man, I'm ready to talk about some Guild Wars because I'm very excited about this concept.
Yeah, guilds, I feel like, have been talked about so much and such an early stage of the game right now. Right now, we're just in the open beta, and there's already MM, there's P-War, there's you're starting a guild as well, correct, right?
Correct, the Empire.
With guilds, from what I remember what guilds were, the whole purpose of guild was to bring in a closer knit tight community in, you know, I think the max guild was like 100, and you were able to just chat with your friends, you're able to fight with your friends, and fighting, I mean boss strikes. And that's kind of it for guilds, I think. Correct me if I'm wrong there.
Oh no, dude, you're absolutely right. I mean, guilds were basically, you know, just the clan slash, you know, get together group of battle nations, and all they really had going for them was boss strikes. And don't get me wrong, boss strikes are one of the best features of battle nations. It's what a lot of us have nostalgia for, but that's pretty much all it was for, which is why I really like your idea of Guild Wars, because Clash of Clans got a massive revival when they added Clan Wars. It was this whole thing. They did a huge PR move for it, and they saw a major player bump from it because, again, it was a whole new aspect of the game. So I think Madrona Games, once they bring everything back, because right now they're still bringing the entire game back, I think one of the first things they could do that would be a massive startup for the game would be adding Guild Wars, as you stated.
But like you said, my idea for Guild Wars is from Clash of Clans. Clash of Clans, if you don't know, they have Clan Wars. I don't know the exact numbers or not, but basically they choose from the top 20, maybe 30, and they go head to head at each other with a different clan. The basis of the game is you're trying to destroy the enemy's base, your opponent's base, for about 3 stars. That's the max that you can get. The more stars that you have overall from the rest of your guild, you end up winning the clan war. I think that would be a beautiful, beautiful thing to add into Battle Nations. Again, guilds are just used for boss strikes, and those are insanely fun. They're great. We all focus on filling up a bar, getting cool promo units, getting nanopods, getting resources, all this whatnot stuff. And it brings in the community a lot closer to, you know, racing for something. It's not really like going against other guilds or other nations. And that's where I feel like the battle is missing out of Battle Nations. What if instead we brought in the idea of Clan Wars over to Battle Nations and we go against other guilds, other nations? I really wish it was called Nations now. Now that I'm talking about this a lot more, I really wish it was called Nations.
We're gonna have to petition Madrona Games to at least try it again. I mean, what's the worst that happens? Apple tells them no again. But I mean, seriously, like, it does have a ring to it, and the more and more we talk about it, I kind of do wish it was just called Nations.
I think with this idea, it would revive the whole defense stuff. Defenses right now is not used whatsoever. You build a pillbox, you destroy it after because it takes up 1 pop. You build a bunker, and then you destroy it right after because it takes up, I think, 1 pop, maybe 2. I actually don't remember. Same with the flame turret, same with anything else. They're not really needed, that's all. Unless you like decorations like myself. Then you really need it. But beyond that, they're just a waste. I think they're cool designs. I think they have a cool purpose. It doesn't fit into the game as of right now. If we were adding Guild Wars, where we have 20 of the best players in the Guild War, and you have to protect, you know, the majority of your base. We do maybe a 3-star system, or maybe just a percentage system. I think that would be fantastic to, one, allow players to kind of figure out their play style with wanting to play Guild Wars, but then also be in the mainstream of the overall game like everyone else. Because obviously not every player is going to be participating in Guild Wars. They're not going to be forcing themselves to have all these defenses, cut the ribbons on them. I mean, my base right now looks like an absolute ribbon farm, so...
The buildings are so cool. The bunker looks cool. The pillbox looks cool. All of these defenses look awesome, but at the end of the day, they're one population that you're never going to use, and you know, you do them for the mission, and then what, you tear them down to get the population back. They have no versatility and no use. Guild Wars would actually add them to, you know, have some use if they choose, of course, to do it. Of course, the player doesn't have to raise the Jolly Roger. They could just keep up peace times and not have to compete in occupations or raids or at Guild Wars if they don't have to. But if they do, you want their base to look like Gannis's fortress. You know what I mean? You want their base to look like, you know, one of the Warlord Raiders bases, you know, where everything is blue, everything has a watchtower looking over it, everything looks defensive lined up. I think that's what you want high stakes, you know, Guild Wars to look like at the end of the day, to give these defenses a use.
Exactly, and I think it adds a lot more to the game, and for those, mid-maxers, the grinders and everything, I think that's where, you look into the pillbox, you look into the bunker, you look into the garrison, the blockhouse. Those things, right now in the game, they're not upgradable. With this new addition, I would think they would actually become upgradable. This is kind of in the sense of, like Clash of Clans. I would love to see this. This is a totally side note. When you upgrade a building, it kind of changes a little. I do kind of like that. It adds a lot more into the world building of your outpost, in my opinion. Back onto the topic of just upgrading defenses, I think that adds a lot more grindiness to the game, and you can actually see a lot more players trying to, be offensive and also defensive with their output. I keep trying to say nations now that I'm thinking of guilds as nations.
Yeah, it would absolutely go crazy hard if you could upgrade defenses, and it wouldn't be that hard to implement. All you'd have to do is, like, for example, you upgrade a pillbox, it gets more defense and more attack in battle. Basically, think of it as a unit promotion, but for the building. And for something like a bunker, you upgrade it, now it can just hold more soldiers. I'm not sure what the max capacity of a bunker is, but you upgrade it to level 2, level 3, so on and so forth. You just get to put more and more units in. I think that would be pretty straightforward. Also, just a little cosmetic, as you say, let's say you upgrade the pillbox from level 1 to 2, it gets another gun. From 2 to 3, it gets a new shiny coat of armor, right?
Yes.
Stuff like that, just little cosmetics would definitely go a far way, because it's what made Clash of Clans so popular. Just upgrading your walls, upgrading your base, and it physically looking better, it physically looking stronger.
Exactly. Other things we can add, like, obviously, I feel like a 3-star system in Battle Nations just wouldn't work out. I think it being a percentage-wise would probably be a better idea. If not, if we need a quote-unquote town hall, I feel like our town hall would actually be the flag. The objective when fighting an opponent's base, instead of, having your set army like Clash of Clans, you would actually have a 30-minute timer to clear as most of the base that you can. So that's destroying everything that you can see, trying to clear out, like, that's where I'm starting to think of strategies, like, do I want to clear out all the defenses first and then actually start destroying the buildings, or do I want to just go at it in a line, or just blitzkrieg it? Or there's just so much you can do with it. But I think adding a 30-minute timer that you're trying to absolutely annihilate this person's base, I think that right there switches the idea from, like, oh, they just copied Clash of Clans, to kind of like copying, but it's in a different way. You didn't copy the homework.
Absolutely. And I mean, no, that would be a completely unique idea, because at least in Clan Wars and Clash of Clans, you are just attacking with the regular army. I think there is like a 3-minute timer, but that's just more for every single battle. And I love what you said about the attack, the battle flag, because the battle flag right now, besides declaring whether or not you're in peacetime or wartime, it really has no use. But if you made it the town hall, you would probably put all your defenses around it, put it at the center of your base, basically just make it a man stand before trying anybody can get there. I love that concept. I think you could probably see something like you said, a 30-minute timer. Get in there, as soon as you load into their base, as soon as you see the layout of it, it starts the 30-minute timer. It doesn't matter how many battles you do, it doesn't matter what you sacrifice. You got 30 minutes to tear as much as their base as possible. I think that would be crazy hard for an early version of Guild Wars.
I always say 30 minutes because looking at my base right now, I'm just like, I don't think I could do this in 3 minutes. Like, if you told me to destroy every single building, just cause rampage, I am not getting through it.
Oh, dude, I don't think I could do 2 battles of a base unless, like, I was speed running it. So yeah, 30 minutes is great. Battle Nations is not meant to have a 3-minute battle system. That's totally Clash of Clans' thing. I think 30 minutes is a good benchmark to start off with.
I would love to see something like Guild Wars to be implemented into the game. I just want to see a lot more with facing other guilds. Again, we do see that in, like, boss strikes and everything, everyone trying to get to tier 10s, but it's not necessarily going against someone. It's just we're competing to get there faster, but the other opponent can also get those same things. I feel like this is a great idea. I feel like it definitely needs some tweaking here and there, but this is something that I would personally love to see in the game as we go forward from, obviously rebuilding all the previous content Battle Nation had when it was first alive back then.
So yeah, guys, that will just about cover it up on Guild Wars. If you guys would be interested in seeing how occupation could work, maybe a bit more of expansion on raids, something to base off the rookie, we cover that over on my channel. over discussing about how occupation and raids could be more intense, something more like Boom Beach did with Islands if you're curious of that, and maybe tearing down and inciting revolution if the other player's base. If you'd be interested in that, come check out my video on this where me and AP discuss on my channel how occupation and raids could work in the future of Battle Nations. That will do it for us, guys. Thank you very much for watching, and as always, have a great rest of your day.
Bye.